Welcome to the Nevis Newscast for Thursday, August the 29th, 2019. I'm Donis Wilkinson Keynes. The Social Services Single Parents Support Group on Wednesday, August 28th, donated school supplies to two children. Ajani Brandy of the Elizabeth Pemberton Primary School and Eldon Herbert of the Violet O. Jeffers Nichols Primary School were the recipients. Michelle Hanley is a member of the Social Services Single Parents Support Group.
We are here today to do our annual donation to two well-deserving families of single-parent group. This we do on an annual basis. It's a back-to-school package for two children that were selected from schools, and they are members of single-parents group, single-parent family households.
The presentations were made by Yolanda Smithan and Verlin Amri, who expressed gratitude on behalf of the Single Parents Support Group.
I would like to say thanks to Almighty first and to Rams. Every year when we go, all I would have to say, I'm coming for this purpose, and they will give me a discount. So they have always been contributing towards the back to school for these children. To the parents, I went shopping, I did my best. I do hope that you guys appreciate all that we would have done. I do hope back to school, you guys would stay focused, learn your lessons, be respectful, first and foremost to your teachers and to your parents.
Also attending the presentation ceremony at the Department of Social Services were Venice Hicks, mother of Ajani Brandy, and Patrick Brandy, grandfather of Eldon Herbert. In more local news,
I'm here to tell you today that teaching up the middle to the average students does not work, nor does one-size-fits-all teaching. The reality is our students have changed, their learning needs have changed, and we have to respond to those differences and changes.
Special Education Specialist Dr. Monica Williams was the keynote speaker at the Department of Education's Back to School Convocation 2019. Dr. Williams is a member of Mind Bloom Consulting, who has been contracted to work on the OECS education sector strategy. The main focus of her work is assisting teachers and principals in making changes in practice that advance the learning and success of all students.
Students are more diverse, even with streaming. Student learning needs are more complex today than they were in the past. The number one trend of greatest concern to teachers and parents everywhere: increased behavioral challenges in the classroom and issues with classroom management. More children and more youth are coming to school with mental health challenges, anxiety, social emotional issues. Here's the third area of challenge that education systems everywhere are trying to deal with: gaps in students' literacy skills. A lot of students around the world are experiencing challenges with mastering foundational mathematics skills. And the fifth area of complex needs that we're seeing around the world is called life skills. And so employers, colleges, post-secondary institutions, people in the community are saying this: even when students graduate from school, they complete school successfully, they're not coming out with the work ethic, the discipline, the study habits, the financial literacy skills that they need to be productive workers and strong students.
She spoke on the theme Know Your Students, highlighting the move to differentiation.
Knowing your students is the first step in differentiation, and it's a three-step cycle. The first step is to know your students, their interests, their strengths, their needs, their learning preferences. Based on knowing them, you can then differentiate instruction. And I want to emphasize, you're teaching the same curriculum. You're not changing the curriculum, but you're giving students different pathways to learning the curriculum. And then the third step is to continuously assess student learning, looking at samples of their work, observing them in class, asking them how they solve math problems, constantly checking to see where they are. And the more you do that, ladies and gentlemen, the better you know your students, and you can differentiate instruction even more.
According to the educational leader, teacher observation is the most powerful form of assessment and is essential in getting to know a student. Meantime, over the past 3 days, staff members of schools across Nevis have been participating in various training sessions with a focus on the theme Know Your Students, Education for All, Embracing Change, Securing the Future.
My name is Tracy Chapman. I'm a teacher of the Charlestown Preschool and here at the Early Childhood Workshop on Differentiation. One of the main points that we have gathered is to start small and slowly and to get to know our children's interests and their learning preferences, and that is how we'll get to differentiate in our classroom. I feel that the workshop has been a success so far.
The session for preschool teachers took place at the Department of Education, while the session for teachers of English, French, and Spanish and school librarians took place at the Nevis Cooperative Credit Union Conference Room.
We have been participating in the workshop on differentiation techniques in the classroom. So far, it has been going very well. We have one thing that we have learned, or one thing that has become apparent to us as teachers, is that we have been differentiating in the classrooms. It's just that we're learning techniques on how to be a little more intentional about it and ways that we can improve on knowing our students so that we can have better outcome or better general outcome.
We also caught up with Principal Education Officer Zanella Claxton.
This is all part of the curriculum enhancement process, and so we are thinking of our students' interests, their backgrounds, their likes and dislikes, their weaknesses, their strengths. These are some of the things that we want teachers to focus on in an attempt to build and further strengthen their instructional strategies. And to those who are new, we also want to give them a fresh start, a way that they can start off being able to differentiate in their classroom through knowing their students.
Training was also provided for principals and supervisors, guidance counselors, security and crossing guards, and music teachers. Training of administrative staff in the use of the open source student information system OpenSys was expected to take place today. Still to come.
So we have a fun-filled week planned here for both our cooks and coaches, and we hope to make this term even better.
We'll give you the details after this break.
At a loss as to what's going on in Nevis? Tune into NNC on NTV. Don't worry if you don't have cable either. NNC will bring the news to you wherever you are. Facebook and Facebook Live. YouTube and YouTube Live. NevisTVOnline.com. Roku app, NTV mobile app, Smart TV, Apple TV, and any other IPTV platforms. When me ANC and you ANC, NNC.
Welcome back. Several sponsors partnered with the Department of Education this week to facilitate training sessions for school meals cooks. Among them were the Ministry of Health, Nisbet Plantation Beach Club, Cornerstone, German Bartlett, the Organization of Rastafarians, Chef Michael Henville, Carol Brazier, Nevis Craft House, and the Ministry of Agriculture.
Happening behind me now is a food demonstration on how to make popsicles. So we have agro-processing coming in, and they're showing our cooks how to make fruit popsicles with just fruit. And they brought their sealer, and they're going to seal those into little bags so that the cooks can try, and we hope to replicate this during the term. We also had Chef Henville do a demonstration on meatballs or spaghetti bolognese this morning with the cooks, and we use both whole wheat pasta and the regular white pasta, and our cooks are going to try those, and they're going to give us some feedback as to how they think we can make it more child friendly in their interactions with the children during the term. We're going to tweak these recipes so that all the schools would have access to these recipes.
The training took place at the Charlestown Primary School cafeteria on Tuesday 27th, Wednesday 28th, and Thursday 29th August.
Nisbet's Plantation is coming in to do a vegetable kebab and teaching the cooks how to do that, as well as the sweet mashed potato. So they're going to be learning how to do several meals. We're going to have Chef Enville also do filet fish with steamed vegetables. And then on Friday, we have agro-processing once again coming in. We have the support of the Ministry of Agriculture and agro-processing. They're going to come in and do make their pizza dough and show the cooks how to make the famous cassava bread or the famous whole wheat bread.
The sessions for physical education instructors and coaches were conducted by the Department of Youth and Sports, Fit Wellness Center, Sensei Dr. Robert George, and the Ministry of Health.
They also had a training on how to do warm-up sessions with the children. They're also going to have training on how to track the children or how to deal with a child at each level, from kindergarten go up to grade 6. And we hope to make this term even better than it was last term, and this year to be a successful year for our children, that they will develop good lifestyle, healthy lifestyle habits that will take them through the rest of their lives.
School Meals Coordinator Renel Daniel. The Ministry of Ecclesiastical Affairs, in the collaboration with the church community across St. Kitts and Nevis, will once again observe a National Day of Prayer and Fasting on Monday, September 2nd, to encourage personal reflection and appreciation for God's blessings. This is the second consecutive year that the commemoration will be held. Churches are encouraged to organize appropriate activities in the morning and midday to serve their congregations and members of the respective communities who wish to participate. In the evening, residents are invited to the Zion Moravian Church in St. Kitts for the National Prayer Gathering, which will begin at 7 p.m. It is important because it is the entire nation that is called to prayer, said Ron Dublin-Collins, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Ecclesiastical Affairs, as he responded to a question about the value of staging this event. Our entire national life must be surrounded, enforced, and supported with prayer, the Permanent Secretary added, noting that it will help to guide the nation along the path of success and prosperity. All residents are encouraged to participate in organized events on Monday, September 2nd. That's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, thank you for viewing.
Taxes are the lifeblood of a nation. Feel good about what your tax dollars do in Nevis. As a responsible citizen, your tax dollars protect our environment. Pay your taxes on time. This message was brought to you by the Inland Revenue Department, Nevis.
Be a responsible citizen.